All right, we're going to do a quick program review. So I've got two programs that we're going to cover in this review, and so I'll do separate modules for each one of those. This program here is a high-frequency fat loss program. So if you watch the frequency module on fat loss program design, this will tie right into that. And so I've developed two programs here, one with a little higher volume and more designed for male, and then one with a female specific and a little bit lower volume on the strength side. So I'll explain the two. So this is our male program. This has a lot of volume. It's high frequency, so it's a 4-day program. There'll be 2 strength days and 2 metabolic days. So if you're going to use this program or take this template and use it, if somebody doesn't train with you for 4 days in a row, this is really simple. This is more designed for personal training type programs than it is group training. But you could easily adjust this to make it group training related, change the exercises to fit what you have in your group training, and then change the reps into time for your group training, like larger group training activities. So these are somewhere around like 45-minute sessions here after the warm-up. So it's like at 45 minutes of actual work. You could easily adjust these to fit. The concepts are all the same. Principles are all the same. So what we've got here is we start off with the strength day 1. And the way I've paired this up is every day is a total body day. And in this program, the way it's paired up is we've got, for strength and our metabolic days, we do like a lower body quad dominant, or you think a push, because squats are kind of a push related, but I do like a quad dominant day, and then I pair that with an upper body pull. So we're working opposite ends of the spectrum here, and then we'll flip that around in day 2, where you'll do pressing for the upper body, and you'll do pulling for the lower body, or posterior chain or hip dominant movements. So you've got quad dominant with upper body pull, and then hip dominant with upper body push. So think about the principles of this movement. If you don't know how to perform the exercises, don't get caught up in the details. The exercises here are very specific to the people this was programmed for, as are the rep ranges. So don't worry about there's no magic in the exercise selection here. This was designed for someone specifically. Use your clients and just use the principles, right? I have bilateral quad dominant, just substitute it if you don't know what it is. It's pretty simple to be able to do that. So substitute the stuff you're comfortable with. If you need some help with some, you can always post in the Facebook group. So we start off here, a couple of little things I'll talk about. In this one, we're going to just do supersets, and there's no rest between the exercises. So note that, and then you're going to use about 60 seconds of rest, and you can adjust that as needed for the fitness level. Person doing this program is a high-level client. They're good with the volume. We'll probably have to take a deload at the end of this just to let the body recover, but it's really simple to utilize this for them. As far as like the 60-second rest, they're in pretty good condition, so it's a little bit more advanced clientele here. You can easily increase the rest after to up to 120 seconds. Fat loss program, so even on the strength days, I want just enough rest that the quality of the sets are good, but I don't want so much rest that they're fully recovered in between sets. So what I've got here is I've got a safety squat bar, so we're using a safety squat bar. And we're doing a box squat to this. We've got a higher box on this. We're not going to worry about depth here. And then I've got the sets are 2/BO. And so the 2 is 2 working sets and then a back off set. So they'll work up to 2 sets, week 1 of 6 to 8 reps. So I got a rep range. They'll work up to their heaviest sets that they can get for 6 to 8. We're not working to failure, just heavy sets of 6 to 8. Then they're going to back off, and whatever their heaviest set, so ideally, set number 2 is going to be the heaviest set. I'm going to back the weight off of 75% of that, and then they're going to go perform a set of as many reps as possible. So AMP, I just left out the extra A, right? As many as possible. And they're going to do that, and they're going to keep it 1 short of failure, right? We're not going to take anything to failure. So any back off sets, you do 75%, and then you do as many as possible. Keep it 1 to 2 short of failure. So ideally, what they should be able to do is, while they're backing that down, they're going to be able to perform a much higher rep range. So they'll get a lot out of that. It'll jack up the metabolic demand. It'll really increase their ability to gain some strength and even hypertrophy. So it's a great body composition strategy to use there if we're looking at like a body recon. Same thing applies. You look at week 4. So the progressions on this are, I have a progressive system. So week 1 we have 2 and a back off. Then week 2 we have 2 and a back off. But if you look, the reps increase, so our volume increases overall. Then I go up to 3 and a back off, so 4 total sets, and I bring the volume back down on the reps. And then on week 4 we have 3 and a back off, and we go 12, 10, 8, and then as many as possible. By week 4, they should have a really good idea, the client should, of where they're at on the exercises based off of and where they're at in rep ranges. So they should know about what weight they need to use for a challenging set of 12. The rep ranges at the top are just based off of feel. So if they're fatigued a little bit that day, it's not a big deal. So I like to do that because it's a nice progressive system, keeps them working throughout, increases the volume and the workload throughout the entire week, or the entire phase of the program, excuse me. So then we have dumbbell 3-point row. We're going to pair it up with that simple hand on bench dumbbell row. And again, we've got the back off sets here, same principle, 75% of your heaviest set. A little higher volume on the pulling. Typically your upper back can handle that, so a little higher volume on the pulling. Then we'll go into reverse lunges and chin-ups. These are pretty much straight sets, so the reverse lunges are just dumbbell lunges. It's on reps are for each leg, it's not total. And then the chin-ups I have up to 12. You start with body weight and basically do 3 sets. You do as many as you can on each of the sets. Once you complete all 12 reps for all of your sets, you can add 5 to 10% of your body weight to the chin-ups. You use like a dip belt, or you can add a weight vest or whatever you need to do to try to add 5 to 10% of your body weight to the chin-ups. So then you start back over, and once you work up to there, you can add another 5 to 10%. So you just keep escalating that. It's a nice way to keep the volume high on chin-ups, keep progressing without trying to hit like a specific set or rep number total volume. Then we go to single leg squat off box. I use an 18-inch box and then hold the weight in a goblet style as needed so that they're not getting the counterbalance. So again, progressive overload here as we go through the weeks, just straight reps on the rep ranges. Single arm cable or band row, either way, whatever they need to do there. I've got the reps again a little bit higher. Then seated jump squats, and we'll do that's kind of high reps for that, but it's at the end of the workout. I'm not expecting them to like just be blasting stuff. And what you do is you start from a dead stop each time. So you sit on a box, so about an 18-inch box, or sit on a bench, and you explode off. As you come back down, you land nice and soft, you sit back down, so there's a lot of rest in between. And then fat grip barbell curls, we add in some arm work here at the end of that. I have fat grips that we use, or you can use a fat grip barbell. You can wrap a towel around a barbell, it doesn't matter. That's like that for some grip work. And then we have core work we'll do at the end, just 3 to 4 rounds of ab rollouts and then wall press abs. So we just kind of go with whatever time we've got left at that point, get some extra core work in. We then go to day 2, where we have another strength day, and this is going to be our hip dominant and push day. So RDL, we've got the back off sets. Everything pretty much stays the same here. So I'm using the same strategies across the board. With dips, I don't have the back off sets, so we're just going to use a rep range and add weight as needed. Dips are a problem for the client, and you can't use, you may try rings and do close grip push-ups. You can alternate that with any sort of dumbbell bench press or bench press. So use what's a good fit for your clients if you're using this template. A single leg hip thrust here. With a 2-second hold at the top. And again, we're using progressive workload increases throughout the week or throughout the phase, and the rest is 60 seconds. Same concept as the first strength day, so adjust that based off what your clients need, their fitness level. I've got low incline bench press, tends to be a little easier on the shoulders, and this we're going to use the back offset strategy again. Then single leg kettlebell RDLs or Romanian deadlifts with a weighted push-up. I just put in there if weighted push-ups are an issue, so if you don't have the weight vest, or if you don't want to add like plates or chains to your back, then just go to rings, and it's not a problem. Just add in some ring push-ups. I know they have them, so typically those are a little more challenging. And then leg curls, they can either do a slider, stability ball. I don't care if they even use a leg curl machine at the gym. That's fine with me. Just getting some leg curls in, higher volume. It's the end of the workout. And dumbbell lateral raises for the shoulders. And then core work again. This one we have medicine ball throws. Doing it 4 to 5 rounds. They mix it up. Doesn't matter. I want about 100 total reps in the workout. So 25 to 20 throws per set. So a little bit of conditioning work in there as well. Then we move into metabolic resistance training. So with the way we have this set up is I always do a complex movement or explosive movement at the beginning. So sandbag cleans. And they're going to go, again, we have a workload increase, 4 sets, 5 sets, 4 sets, 5 sets, and then the volume increases, 5, 5, 8, 8. If you don't have a sandbag, no big deal. Sandbag's a little easier on the shoulders, not quite as, there's not quite as much teaching involved to get the sandbag clean. But if you want to do barbell, you can do that. You can do any big complex movement, doesn't matter there. They begin the first set, begin the first set at 30 seconds of rest, and then they increase it as needed. So basically what you're doing here as you go through this and you start your first set, do 5 reps, rest 30 seconds. Then you do your second set, 5 reps. You're probably going to need a little bit longer rest to keep the intensity high. So then what I would do is go to like 40 seconds. And then do your next set of 5, and then go to 50 seconds, and then do your next set of 5 and do 60 seconds. And so you just increase the rest as needed, but keep it under 60 seconds. And that's, I like the sandbag because at the barbell, there's some teaching things. You got to get it right. With the sandbag, I mean, if you drop the sandbag, it's not a big deal. And most people aren't going to, it's not going to be a huge learning curve to get the sandbag there and keep it safe. So I like the sandbag for that. And you can always add a bunch of variations with sandbag clean to get that done. But I like that escalating rest that I use there. Keeps the metabolic system really working in that. So start with the short rest, increase it as you go. Then we go into this giant set of conditioning circuit, fat loss circuit. We got jump squats. You can substitute goblet squats if you need to. So if the knees are just not feeling great, don't want to do explosive movements, I just have them increase the reps to 12 to 16. Again, straight up, we're going to do 3 to 4 rounds of our circuit. There's no rest between exercises, so it's just whatever it takes you to get to your next exercise. 3 to 4 in the first 2 weeks, 4 to 5 in the next 2 weeks. So you could essentially go 3, 4, 4, 5. That would be fine, or they could go 3 to 4. Just kind of depends how they feel. So a little bit more instinctive. The reps increase as we go. So 6 and 8, 8 to 10, 6 and 8, 8 to 10. We go suspended row or TRX row. Step up, band pull down with a close grip. So I use a towel for that. I think that it adds some grip strength and it helps engage the lats a little bit. You pull the towel apart. And farmer's carries, so some sort of farmer carry, doesn't matter. I can do any variation. 45 seconds, 60 seconds, so timed there. And then a muscle rope, jump rope. The muscle rope is something that I have. I like to use. It's a big, heavy jump rope. It's like a battle rope, but it's only 9 feet long. So they're going to do a number of reps for that. And that's like a metabolic booster. So that last one. So you can tell here the way I've organized this, A1A is complex movement, like an explosive movement. Then we've got our giant set, and I just go lower body, upper body, and again, it's paired up, knee dominant or quad dominant, and then pulling, so upper body pulling. And that's alternate to 2. Then I have a core, so the farmer's carries, not really it's like more of a core work than anything. It's a little bit of conditioning, gets some traps as well, so it's a big total body movement. I like that. You can always put farmer's carries at the beginning there where the sandbag clean are and do them really heavy, or you can do get-ups or anything like that. Then I've got free time at the end. And so, I'll cover the rest here. So the rest, we start at 120 and then go 90, 60, 60. The 60 seconds are a bitch. So it's pretty challenging. So just rest is needed for your clients, kind of feel them out. And then I have free time, depends on what we got left. These are pretty short workouts there, and they don't take very long at all. So the 120 second where you have the rest for 2 minutes, that's a little bit longer just because of that. But once you get into the 60-second rest periods, they go fast. And so then you have free time, 5 to 10 minutes, just whatever they want to do. And do more conditioning work, push the sled, they they just depends what they do. Abs, they want to do arms. I don't really care. They just have fun with it. And then finally, we've got Metabolic Resistance Day 2. On this one, we do a rotational sandbag clean. So we start with the sandbag off to one side and we rotate. They'll do 3 and 3. So 3/3 is 3 each side. So 3 on the right, 3 on the left, and it's alternating sides. So it's metabolic there. And again, same rest strategy that we used in the previous one. You could easily replace with like sandbag snatch, dumbbell snatch if you wanted to, and do that. This client doesn't do well with overhead stuff, so that's why you don't notice a lot of overhead pressing. So I don't have any of that in there. I just typically avoid that, but you can easily put that in there. Don't feel like you have to use the clean again there. Then we'll go to kettlebell swings. Everything's the same strategy, no rest here. Push-up variation, let them mix it up, have fun with it. Slider leg curls, band chest press, band low to high chop. So it's standing. We can add a dynamic strategy to that. Since you're in ETM, if you go to the RBT section and you look in some of the programs, you'll see the band low to high chop in there. Dave's got videos of that, so it's one of my favorites. You can add a lot of dynamic movement to it. Good pressing and rotational core work. And then we got med ball slams for the booster. So a set number of reps. Again, the rest is the same. And then we've got free time. So it's a pretty simple program. It's really high volume and it's high frequency. So you'll get to eat a little bit more. It's more of a body recomp than just straight up fat loss. If your client can't train 4 days a week, then what you need to do is work with them on their own goals. And you may do one strength day, and I would just probably, what I would do on the strength day then is add in like a total body day with that. So instead of doing knee dominant and then pulling and quad dominant or hip dominant and pushing, I would just combine them. So I would just alternate back and forth. So I'd go knee dominant pull, and then I go hip dominant push, and I'd alternate the supersets. So you could just basically mesh up a hybrid of day 1 and day 2 of the strength. Not doing it all, but just mixing and matching the things to fit the same amount of volume in there. And then you would do the 2 metabolic days. Or if they just wanted to do 3 metabolic days, you could do that. You could easily do 4 metabolic days for this, but I like the body recomp because there is a big metabolic component to the strength days. I like them early in the week, but you can adjust this however you need to. Kind of take the concepts and run with it. Get creative. Think, make your box bigger. That you're able to use some of these tools with this, and don't get hung up on the exercises. Think of the principles behind it. So that's our male program: high frequency, high volume. And so we'll come back and I'll share one with the female fat loss program. It's a little lower volume, still high frequency.